This video comes from a woman who recently moved into a new house with her daughter. The strange thing she began to notice was that every time she left the house and came back, the light in her daughter's bedroom would be turned on, despite her being absolutely certain she had left it off.
Bueno, voy a hacer este video para ver si está prendida la luz de la pieza de las nenas. Ay, no. Tengo miedo. Yo ayer la apagué. Ay, la reconcha de la lora. ¿Cómo puede ser? ¿Cómo puede ser? A ver si está abierta la puerta del placar. Y la puerta del placar abierta, la concha de la puta lora.
One particular day, she saw the closet door open and the bedroom light on again, and this time, she was even more frightened than usual. After asking her daughter if she had anything to do with it and getting a firm no, she was left with no logical explanation for these odd occurrences. That's when she began to suspect something paranormal might be at play, especially considering the fact that the house used to belong to her grandfather, who had passed away.
Dejé ya prendida la luz, cosa que no tener que volver y que me encuentre con la luz prendida. O sea, que se me vuelva a prender porque la verdad es que me da mucho miedo de verdad. La puerta del placar no se volvió a abrir, es un ropero antiguo. Esta era la casa de mis abuelos. Mi abuelo falleció hace 3 años y esta era su habitación, así que a veces siento que está conectado él en esta casa. Pero más allá que es mi abuelo, me da miedo. Así que nada, no la vuelvo a apagar. Pero está todo en armonía y no hay nada extraño ni nada raro, sino que no vuelvo a apagar la luz porque me da.
The room in question, it used to be his. She began to believe that her grandfather might be trying to communicate with her, possibly using the mirror in the room as a portal, but viewers weren't convinced. It felt darker than that. Many commented that it could be something sinister pretending to be her grandfather. Things escalated when she decided to check inside her grandfather's old closet. What she found inside was beyond unsettling. An old photo of her great-grandparents, her grandmother's antique bassinet, a creepy clown doll with a rope and a disturbing laugh, and another broken doll stuffed in an old suitcase. As many of us know, clown dolls already have a reputation for being unsettling. From then on, she started leaving the light on herself, not out of habit, but so she wouldn't get spooked by finding it mysteriously turned on again. She hadn't planned on making any paranormal content, and she thought that would be the end of it. But after being accused by some of faking everything, she decided to post a follow-up video.
Acá vengo, en teoría la luz tendría que estar prendida, como ayer cuando vine, que estaba prendida porque no la volví a apagar. Así que ahora vamos a ver con qué nos encontramos. Vamos a cerrar el garage. Muy bien. Vamos a ver con qué nos encontramos hoy. Igual esto no sé si está bueno porque no sé si estoy abriendo algún portal. Creo que va a ser el último video que hago. Porque no está bueno estar molestando a las almas. En teoría tendría que estar la luz prendida. Ahí se escucha el gato de mi vecino. Ahí no hay luz. Ah, sí hay luz. Bueno, no me anda la living. Está como muy oscura la casa. Vamos a prender la luz porque me da un poquito de miedo hoy. Estoy como asustada. Ah, no te la puedo creer. ¿Y por qué se desenfoca? No sé. Pero la luz está apagada. Quiero ver si es que hay algún problema. Quiero ver si es que hay algún problema con la lamparita o algo. Ah, no, listo. Listo, buenísimo. Se apagó la luz, o sea, yo no la apagué. Claramente, no sé por qué está apagada.
This time, she deliberately left the light on before going out, and when she returned, she found it had been switched off. The light works normally in every other situation. It only behaves this way when she leaves the house. But that wasn't even the scariest part. The next morning, something terrifying happened.
La luz sigue prendida. ¿Qué mierda es eso? Esto es joda. ¡Ay, la puta madre que lo parió!
Her daughter's toy, a cat that activates by pressing a button, suddenly turned on by itself, making noises and then moving just as she approached it. Some viewers thought it might have been motion activated, so she uploaded another follow-up video to prove that wasn't the case. And that's when things really gave people chills.
Quiero mostrar una cosa, porque después me van a decir que el gato tiene una palanquita o algo para que camine o que haga miau o algo de esas cosas. La realidad es que no tiene nada, es un gato de mis hijas que solamente funciona si vos le apretás acá un botoncito que tiene. Quiero mostrar. O sea, si uno no lo aprieta, el gato no funciona. O sea, esto es real. Esto es real. No tiene nada, o sea, no tiene palanca, nada. Es solo si uno lo aprieta, que lo acabo de apretar.
She demonstrated that the toy only works when the button is pressed. Yet in the earlier video, it had reacted as she got closer, meowing and moving subtly. Not like a normal activation, but more like a reaction. She also mentioned that although the closet was old, she had it restored, reorganized the room, and eventually threw out the creepy dolls. No updates have been given since then. I think the clown doll might have had something to do with it, as we've seen in other unsettling videos like this.
I just heard knocking from the closet.
At one point, you can even catch a glimpse of a pale figure with glowing eyes in the mirror's reflection. Whether or not that's just a trick of the light is up for debate. Susie Soul Moore's family lived in a profoundly haunted house in England. The home was filled with strange and unusual items left behind by its former owners. Strangest of all, on the third floor, there was a peculiar painting left behind by a previous tenant. Susie claims that this painting is the most haunted object in the entire house. According to her, it often sparks eerie conversations with a spirit named Gilbert, who she believes resides within the painting.
I'm not stupid, I'm very smart. I'm the smartest kid in class. Okay, not really. Do you want this or do I keep it? Okay. I'm tired and hungry. It could get cold. You can't touch cold stuff. But
One day, Susie and her brother approached her niece to ask about the spirit Gilbert.
You like him?
yeah, Gilbert's like one of my best friends.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I think the man that used to live here painted it.
Is Gilbert friendly? Does he speak to you?
Yeah,
What does he say?
because I don't pray.
That's when things took an even creepier turn. Without hesitation, Susie began digging for an old photo and more information about the family home. What she discovered was downright disturbing.
There's a photo of the house from 1916 and it was built in 1902. So this would be the first or one of the first families to live in this house. As you can see, there are 6 people present in the photo. And looking at the English census records, I found that the father would be called John, the mother was called Maud, and next to on the balcony has a daughter Dorothy. The birth of a little boy called Gilbert was also registered here in 1911, so he would be about 5 or 6 in this photo. I'm unsure why he's not with the rest of his family in the photo, what they did to him. Just have an overwhelming feeling that something really terrible happened to him at the hands of his own family. The weirdest part is that this is where the sun painting is situated in the house.
Things in the house only got weirder. One day when Susie was home alone, she began to hear loud banging noises coming from upstairs. Without wasting a second, she grabbed her phone and started recording as she ventured upstairs to investigate. The atmosphere in the house grew more unsettling. One evening, while Susie was alone, she heard persistent banging sounds coming from the playroom where Gilbert's painting was hung. When she went to check, the room appeared completely empty. On another night, as she climbed the stairs, a heavy, eerie feeling filled the air. Inside the third-floor playroom, her niece began prying at the floorboards while softly singing, "You Are My Sunshine," a song that held strange significance, considering the spirit Gilbert was said to be connected to a painting of the sun. After the girl had gone to bed, Susie and her brother returned to the playroom to investigate the spot she had been picking at. What they discovered sent chills down their spines.
Looks like it comes up.
Beneath the floorboards, they uncovered an old Ouija board with an image of the sun that bore an uncanny resemblance to the haunted painting of Gilbert. Could there really be a spirit named Gilbert haunting the third-floor playroom of Susie's old house? Is this spirit trying to communicate with Susie's young niece? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This video captures a woman live streaming from inside her home when something incredibly unsettling is caught on camera. The woman, known online as Cello Loca, is popular for her tarot card readings and other spiritual practices. While she usually performs tarot readings during her live sessions, this time she decided to do something a little different. She attempted a seance from the comfort of her home. Unaware of what was about to unfold, Cello began the ritual, speaking to a friend on the phone who was also watching the stream live. She sat in front of a mirror and attempted to make contact with the other side, when suddenly something chilling happened.
Inmovilizada. Mira que se ahora hacen así.
Ahora se abre la puerta.
¿Dónde está la puerta? ¿Se ve la puerta?
Sí.
Ábrete, ábrete. Ábrete puerta. Ábrete puerta. Que se abra la puerta. Que se abra.
No posible. No posible.
Ay, tu madre, hija de puta. No me toquéis que estoy protegida, ¿eh? No me toquéis que estoy protegida. No vale, ya abro la luz, ya.
Out of nowhere, the door behind her slowly opened on its own. What's even more bizarre is that the door moved right after she asked the spirit to show a sign. Visibly shaken, she pauses to collect herself before continuing with the seance. But what happens next leaves her completely disturbed.
El espejo, por favor. ¿Te puedes poner delante del espejo, por favor? ¿Estás enfadado? ¿Te puedes poner delante del espejo, por favor? ¿Te puedes poner delante? Venga, ponte delante del espejo. Te quiero ver. Dios, tu puta madre. No, puta, me caigo.
Hostia, chelo, cuidado.
Hostia.
Whatever she saw or felt was enough for her to abruptly end the stream. Since the footage went public, many viewers believe Cello may have unknowingly connected with a dark or malevolent presence. Others think something entirely different may have responded to her call. While some skeptics argue it could all be staged to attract attention, many believe this might be authentic evidence of paranormal activity. It was late one night when Sarahi was asleep, but her daughter Regina was suddenly awoken by the sound of a cat, which seemed to be coming from inside the nearby closet. She began recording as she cautiously approached to check it out. However, the family didn't own any pets, which made the situation even more unsettling. But what happened next is where things took a terrifying turn.
Están empezando a escuchar ruidos. Escuché como un gato. Como dos gatos que se estuvieran peleando dentro. Oh, se escucha mucho. Su hijo se está abriendo el closet. Pero voy a checar porque parecen gatos.
A pale, eerie face can be seen staring at her through the small opening in the closet, before quickly pulling back out of sight. Regina was left horrified, but this was just the beginning. Over the next few nights, they started noticing something lurking in the shadows around the house. Whatever it was seemed to hide just out of reach, blending into the darkness as if it were a part of it. One late night, strange noises started coming from the kitchen, prompting Sarahi and her daughter to investigate together.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? No manches, mami. ¿Qué es eso?
Se movió. Vamos. No, vamos, ¿cómo chingos que no? Vamos. Sin dejar de ver. Aquí se movió. Aquí estaba.
No manches, no hay nada.
Ay, no hay nada, Regina.
¿Se desapareció o qué?
No sé.
No manches, no.
Ya no hay nada.
Then the following night, they once again heard the sound of a cat and tried to confront whatever was making it.
Que estamos viéndolo. ¿Quién eres? Tú no eres un gato.
¿Qué pasó? ¡Ay, qué es eso!
Vete de aquí, ¿quién eres?
¿Qué es eso?
¿Quién eres? Te estoy grabando, ¿quién eres? ¿Por qué estás aquí en mi casa? Tú no eres un gato. Te ordeno que te vayas de mi casa. No manches. ¿Qué es eso, Regina? Se abrió la puerta. Ay, güey. Se me abrió la puerta. Vámonos. Ay, Regina, están tocando. Préndelo. Ya le hablé a la policía. Y ahorita va a venir. Tráeme un palo, Regina. Tráeme algo. Va a venir ahorita la policía. Corre. ¿A qué estás molestando aquí? Ya te habías ido. ¿Qué quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A Regina o a quién quieres?
In the darkness, something could be seen, mimicking the sounds of a cat. Fearing for their safety, Sarahi decided to call the police. When officers arrived and thoroughly searched the home, they found nothing unusual. But ever since that night, whatever had been tormenting them vanished. Sarahi and Regina believe it may have been a witch of some kind. Still, like many of these cases, this one ends in mystery. A general contractor was filming inside a property when something truly unsettling was captured on camera. He had been recording a promotional video to help sell the house to potential buyers, but after reviewing the footage, he made the unexpected decision to pull the house off the market. The reason became clear once the footage was analyzed. In one of the rooms, the mirror shows the eerie reflection of a dark silhouette. According to the contractor, no one else was inside the room during the time of the recording. So if no one was there, then who or what was it? At first, the contractor thought he may have just seen his own reflection and mistaken it for something ominous. But upon reviewing the video, his reflection doesn't appear at all when he initially enters the room. This suggests the figure couldn't have been him. Even more disturbing, the dark shape seems to move slightly while the contractor himself remains still. Whatever was captured in that mirror continues to baffle the contractor to this day. On June 23, 2023, a man named Pablo Dostor was out exploring the woods with his dog when they stumbled upon something strange, a building hidden deep in the forest. It looked out of place, almost like it was never meant to be found. Curious, Pablo and his dog approached the mysterious structure, which appeared to be abandoned. But as they got closer, something made them stop in their tracks. Pablo couldn't explain it, but he was overcome by a heavy, uneasy feeling, as if something dark and unwelcoming was watching from within. The video Pablo captured wasn't actually from that first visit. He returned a few days later, bringing his camera this time. Whatever happened during his initial encounter left him wondering if the place was haunted, or maybe even cursed. Interestingly, Pablo mentioned that his camera had never glitched out during any of his past explorations. Except here. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but what he caught on film during his second visit convinced him that something supernatural might truly be attached to the building.
Wow. Vamos. Wow. Pequeña espina. Cae Draco. Cae acá. Ah, bueno. Tenemos una escalera. Sí, definitivamente se nota que era. Bueno, es muy baja la entrada. Wow. Draco, vení. Bueno, definitivamente no quiere entrar. Es por algo. Vení, Draco. Realmente me siento como bastante acelerado el pulso. Hay una energía definitivamente fuerte. Draco, vení, él me sigue todo. Vení, entra. Eso. No. No. Bueno, me voy acá. Me voy acá porque no. Estoy empezando a sentir.
As it turns out, the structure was once a church, now abandoned and decaying. But it wasn't just Pablo who felt disturbed. His dog, Draco, seemed especially uneasy. While Draco was perfectly fine exploring the forest earlier, he became visibly hesitant when they neared the church. Pablo even says on camera that something about this place just doesn't feel right. According to local legend, the church is haunted, and Pablo's experience seems to support that claim. A few days later, Pablo returned once more, this time at night. Again, Draco was with him, and just like before, the dog began acting strangely.
Poco nervioso, debería decirlo. Vení, Draco, vení. Draco, por fin subió. Vení. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Por qué no querés estar acá? Vení. ¿Qué hay? Draco. Draco. Vení.
Something unseen seemed to be affecting him. Was Draco sensing something sinister that Pablo couldn't see? Or was there something else lurking in the shadows, just out of frame? Whatever it was, it made Draco afraid.